We'll start once again with David Pascal.
Hey, Matthew, given how crazy 2020's been and given what y'all have been through with postponements and rescheduling and an 8-game winning streak, a 6-game losing streak, what are you going to kind of take the most from this experience these last several months?
It's just, it's all about resiliency. In life, you go through your ups. Sometimes your ups last for a long time. You go through your downs, and sometimes your downs last for a long time. But, you just thank the Lord that you're able to make it through, that you're able to be resilient through these tough times and, keep your mind on right. Everything in life's a lesson.
We were asking you a bunch right after Coach Pruitt took over the defensive line for Coach Brumbaugh. Just curious, several weeks later, what has that been like? Does it feel any different now than it did at the start, or is it just kind of old hat at this point?
In this game, in this quote unquote business, you got to learn to kind of adapt and kind of go with the flow. I don't want to say like it was unfortunate that Coach Brumbaugh had to leave us, but it wasn't expected. And even though it wasn't expected, we had to adapt, improve, and push forward. Not just me, but the whole D line and even the whole team to an extent. Yeah.
Brent, then Gustavo.
Matthew, your numbers the last 3 or 4 weeks have been some of the best numbers statistically that you have put up this year. Why is that the case? One, and two, do you feel like Saturday is your final goal here? Have you even thought about that at this point? Will you go through the senior day ceremonies? Kind of where is your thought process with the A&M game on Saturday and potentially the final game in Neyland Stadium?
As far as my numbers and everything, I mean, I like balling. We all like balling. We all try to improve week by week. You look at the film and you say, darn, I missed with that move, or, darn, I could have came out my hips better on that. So you go to practice and you work on it, and it translates to Saturday and you make some plays. And this past Saturday, I was fortunate enough to, tie some things together and, showcase the skills that I knew I had. As far as the senior day and coming back and last game in Neyland and all that, I've definitely thought about it. I'm not going to sit here and say that I haven't thought about it. I just don't really know exactly what I'm going to do. So, today is Tuesday, the 15th, and I have a good while to figure that out. But when it all comes down to it, trying to play really well in this game on Saturday. If we have another opportunity to play another football game, then play really well in that, get 2 wins, and make it happen.
Matthew, Saturday is going to be a special day for seniors, but also Texas A&M is fighting for a college football playoff. How do you see the Saturday game also for you as possibly, your last game, but also Texas A&M fighting for a college football playoff that makes that game more, challenging?
I don't really think that, them fighting for college football playoff makes it more challenging. I mean, I believe that at the beginning of the year, they felt like they were a good team, just like we felt like we were a good team, and they go into every game thinking, let's win so that we can accomplish whatever goal that any team may have. And, we're just approaching this week like we would any week, intense mental preparation, excellent physical preparation, great recovery, great nutrition habits, knowing our opponent and going out there and playing to the best of our ability.
Patrick Brown.
Matthew, whenever you do get to that point where you need to kind of start that decision-making process, how are you going to go about evaluating what you're going to do in the future, and what kind of factors do you think you'll take into consideration on what to do?
I'm gonna be praying a lot, that's for sure. Talking to my mom and dad, talking to people who I trust, and praying even more. There's a lot of factors that go into it, though. I probably am not even at liberty to just disclose every single factor that may go into it. I'll be up here talking for a few minutes.
Thanks.
Back to Brent.
Matthew, when you look at Texas A&M, you guys have been really good against the run, numbers-wise, the last 2 weeks. When you look at their run game and you look at their offensive front, what stands out to you about Texas A&M when you see them on tape?
Oh, they have a talented offensive line. They work together. They're one unit. They're pretty disciplined. They don't give up too many tendencies as far as their personal techniques. And just even in these 2-3 days, we've been able to pick up on, how they play and what they do. They do it pretty well, or, they wouldn't be having the success that they're having. And it's going to be a formidable opponent and a excellent challenge.
David Pascal.
Matthew, Trey was just talking about his favorite moments during his time at Tennessee. Do you have one or two of your favorite moments since you've been here?
One that comes to my mind was like my first game here at the university versus Georgia Tech down there at the Mercedes-Benz Dome when they first opened it. I think we were like the first or second team to play in there. It was a really good game. It was an excellent game, actually. You have moments like getting your first tackle, which I believe was in the next game after Georgia Tech. You have moments like getting your first sack, which was last year versus Mississippi State. And then you just have all of the wins that you get either on the road or in Neyland, like, beating Auburn on the road my sophomore year and, securing a bowl game last year versus, I guess we secured it versus Missouri. So, those are all excellent memories and, things that I'm going to take with me for the rest of my career and life.
Any other questions? We'll go to Vince.
Matthew, if you don't return to Tennessee, what do you see in the young defensive linemen on this Tennessee roster with the future?
Oh, yeah, there's some dudes. They're going to get right. I feel like, not only myself, but everybody who came before me, we set a really good foundation, and we set a matter of mental and physical discipline. And, of course, it's up to them to, adhere to it, but there's going to be pressure to adhere to it because you see people have quote unquote success. When you see people have success, you typically do what they try to do. But, for all I know, I might be right here with them, being even more disciplined physically and mentally and making it happen. Like I said, I'm just still trying to figure that out and everything. I'll be up front.
Last question, Gustavo.
As the final game of regular season comes on Saturday, how do you see this 2020 season of Tennessee football with such ups and downs and so many challenges?
I see it as like you said, it had a lot of ups and downs and a lot of challenges, but it's just an opportunity to. It has been a whole opportunity to just check yourself. Realize that life and a season, whether it be in the middle of a pandemic or whether it be in quote unquote normal circumstances, is all about your resiliency. Are you willing to do it again and again and again in spite of whatever may be going on in the world or whatever might be going on in your personal life? I'm not saying that, ignore what's going on in the world and ignore what's going on in your personal life, but when it all comes down to it, this can be a way of life for some people as far as football. This can be a career for some people as far as football. And a lot of times, it's just a release and an opportunity to go out there and have fun and get better at something. So, you learn about resilience, you learn about yourself, and you learn about life, really.
Good luck in your decision.
Thanks.
Thanks, Matthew.